Welcome to Huddle for Success, real talk, real goals, and real results, where they help you make it happen in your life and business. Your hosts are Mark, Bruce, and Duane Gibbs, and they're here to help you level up your mindset, growth, and your success. Whether you're after personal growth or financial growth, they have you covered. Now let's huddle up.
What's trending in sales right now and how you must adapt? Welcome to Huddle for Success. I'm your host, Duane Gibbs. Alongside of me, my partner, always the Hall of Famer, Mark Bruce. Good morning.
Good morning, Duane. Good to see you.
How's it going?
It's going great. And how are you doing today?
I'm good. Still have the Band-Aid on the lip. I've had a couple people ask, "Hey, do you know you have something on your lip?" And we were on a podcast the other day, and I said to the gentleman, I said, "Listen, I understand I have something on my lip." I said, "Skin cancer is nothing to mess around with. Make sure you get checked." So that's a little plug for all of the skin doctors out there and the dermatologists. Go see your local dermatologist, get checked out, because it's not fun being cut on.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
So we welcome you, the listeners. Today is Monday, where we come to you every Monday with a different topic. For the past couple of weeks, we've had some great guests that have been on. They have shared their profession. They have shared their insight. They have shared what they have done to be successful over the years, and so we appreciate that. As always, like, share, leave a comment. We appreciate the comments. Keep those coming in. Good news, a big plus for us is our Playbook for Life is now available on Amazon. Mark, you have the copy. You have the first copy, which is awesome, right? Well, that side you changed it, so that's awesome. Go to Amazon. You can purchase it for $9.99, or as always, you can go to huddleforsuccess.com and look up Playbook for Life. You can download it for free as well. And so with that, don't forget, we do our Huddle Up session every Wednesday and Friday, where we come to you with a quick mindful thought. And we just work on different topics, something to keep our audience engaged. It lasts anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. So if you haven't, check that out. And so today, we want to talk about what's really trending right now, and that is really staying on top of sales topics across the industry. And so we're seeing big changes. We're seeing big changes now, and I think that COVID had a lot to do with it, where everybody is going YouTube. They're going to different platforms and giving presentations. They're working with different clients. You see it everywhere. And so the industry is really telling us that we need to stay more focused, more aligned, and better. We need to be more sharper as salespeople, because what's happening is, when we have to give presentations over the computer, it's a lot different than it is presenting face to face, business to business.
Absolutely. We had our mastermind partner Uwe Jacobs on from Australia, and on his website, he has an AI bot that is doing a lot of pre-selling for him, that I know before too long it's liable to be doing a lot of the selling for him. I mean, it's an interactive where you can talk to you call them up on the phone, or you call them up on your computer, actually, like you were talking on the phone, and it's a conversation. These AI bots, they've got all the information, they've got the training, they know the products, and now the interaction is very lifelike. So if you're a sales professional, you really have to be on top of your game. You have to learn about your product. You've got to be an expert on your product, but
Yes.
they also have to be an expert on how to create a relationship, because in the end, I think, Duane, you and I think we both agree, people are going to buy you as the relationship you have with them is far more valuable than just the product information.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, you have to know your product. And listen, what we're talking about today is nothing revolutionizing. It's nothing that you haven't heard before. But sometimes, and my next comment was going to be, when was the last time you studied your buyer?
Yep.
When's the last time you really studied your buyer? I'm not talking about your buyer from last year or a buyer from 5 years ago. What was your buyer last week? Because I can tell you, in sales, it wasn't the person of the relationship that I created that bought that really kept me up at night. It was the guy or gal that didn't purchase. There was a reason. There was a reason that they didn't buy, and I went back and I really studied the my presentation, my conversation with them, and it was, did I overtalk somebody? Was I really not listening to what they were saying? Did I not really drill down on the pain point? What was it? Because, I've been in, like, I've been in sales industry for 30 years, and things slip, you slip up. But I think you really have to go back and really know who your target audience is, and how do you define and redefine who you are as a salesperson?
Right. I mean, most salespeople stay pretty well up to date on what their product does.
Hmm.
How often do you study what your customer wants? Because that does change from time to time.
Yeah.
As technology, as the world changes, what what your clients are going to use your products for, whatever your product is, is it a physical product? Is it a service product? That's going to change. I mean, accountants these days, I wonder how long accountants are going to, there are people that are going to replace their accountants with AI computer software programs.
We were,
Unless,
oh, sorry, go
unless,
ahead.
unless you as a accountant can bring nuances into it with the relationship and staying up to date with the and knowing your client. It's all about the relationships. I mean, you say that all the time, Duane, and I completely agree.
When we talked to John the other day, we did an interview with John Bowens, who is a director over at Equity Trust, and make sure you follow. We did that yesterday. It's going to be going live on Monday, so don't miss that segment. Very informative. John is a superstar. He's a rock star in the IRA space, and so make sure you check that episode out. But we talked yesterday about, will AI affect the financial industry of taking over the IRA space? And I heard a comedian the other day say, he talked about AI, and a guy, there was a someone that was in the audience saying, "Is AI going to take over you as a comedian?" And he's like, "No," he said, "I think AI is going to take over a lot of things. However, I don't believe it's going to, you need the person up here on stage to be comical. You need someone like John in the financial industry." Now, can you ask AI questions? I think the customer becomes more aware because they know they can ask AI. So that's why I feel that a salesman needs to be way sharper on their skills and know their product. Because with AI, now that it helps you as a salesperson, it also helps your consumer, because there's more access to who else is out there. What better information can I get? I mean, it's way different than it used to be, going back 20, 25 years ago, when, heck, even 10 years ago, where you really didn't have such a internet connection to where you could always check things out. You don't know something, you go down the street and say, "Oh, I like that tree." What can you do? You Google, "What kind of tree is that?" It can tell you everything about a tree instantly. And so, the phone has done that, AI has done that. In That's, you just have to evolve.
Yep. I think one of the strongest skills a good salesperson is going to need to know is how to control your mindset, because
Hmm.
mindset controls your mindset. I mean, if I started in sales out of college. I worked for Motorola selling walkie-talkies back before the cell phone days. But it seems like as a salesperson, and everybody who's a salesperson is going to have experienced this, there are times when everybody you talk to is going to buy from you. And then there are times when everybody you're going to talk to is going to say no. And it's like you get in a it's like a batter that's in a slump in baseball.
Hmm.
They can't get a hit. Well, there are times, and I have found that that is truly all about your mindset. If you go in and you've had a couple no's and you tend to expect a few more no's that way. So controlling your mindset is going to be one of the biggest skills you can keep to stay on top of sales. What do you think?
I think 95% of it is mindset and 5% is strategy.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a good mindset going into a new client, if your mindset is on other stuff, you lose it. You're not sharp. You're not going to ask the right questions. You're not going to listen to what their pain point is and what they're looking for. And so, um, you know, because the world is so fast paced, listen, if you missed it, there's somebody coming in right behind you that's going to be able to provide something better than you could, or maybe not. It's just they were on their game that day. You may have a way superior product, but if you're not on your game, then the next person is.
Yep.
Maybe they're just on their game. They don't have a superior product, but they were just really on their game. They created that like, respect, logic, and reason that I talk about all the time. And you have to be able to present your likable, the respect, the logic and reason of why they need to buy from you. And so I think those are the main pillars of being a good salesperson. Um, I mean, in your business, in your tanning business, you didn't really have a lot of sales. You did, but you had to hire the right people for your business, the girls, the guys that were at the front door. Because let's face it, a customer walks in, the door's open, they see somebody at the front counter. So what did that look like for you of having to train those guys and girls?
No, without a doubt, personality and attitude were the two biggest things we were looking for as employees in our tanning salons. Most of our employees, not all, but most were high school and college students. Most of them were girls that, sometimes it was their first job or their second job. They didn't have a lot of experience, but they had a great personality and a great attitude. I mean, we were able to train them to sell tanning lotions that cost between $50 and $100 a bottle for a bottle of tanning lotion because of the skincare products that were in it
Wow.
and how well it took. And we would, we'd let our girls use the product so that they knew how good they were, how good their skin felt, how long it
Hmm.
made their tans, all that stuff. But it allowed them to um, to present the product for the benefits that the clients could get. And the one mindset that we had the hardest thing to do with is teaching them how to overcome when somebody said no. Because when you first watch them, if the first person said no, boy, they didn't want to approach anybody the next time. And we had to, well, I always used to like to tell them the story that, if you go into a restaurant and the waitress asks you if you want coffee today and you tell them no, do they get upset? Do they not ask the next person sitting beside you if they want coffee? No, you just got to treat treat your job as if you're a waitress and you're just offering, because offering asking someone to buy is a key to selling a product.
I always say a salesman's job is to deliver bad news
And why do you say that?
because you have to deliver bad news. You have to explain to this customer that, hey, this is the price. The price is $60,000, where they were really thinking it was 40,000. So you have to present and explain to them, okay, I understand you thought it was 40, but let's look at apples to apples. And the reason this is 60 is because of this. So, the car salesman has always gotten the bad rap, over the years. Oh, I hate shopping for cars. You'd hear people say all the time because they hate walking on a car lot, having somebody pressure them of, hey, what do you need? What are you looking for? This, that, and the other. Those are the right questions, but people just felt pressured. People don't want to feel pressured. They want to feel like it's their idea. It's they are there for a reason. They're not there looking for a ball glove. They're there looking for a car. They showed up. Who's this wants to walk on a car lot for no reason at all? They're there for a reason. So again, like, respect, logic, and reason. So asking the proper question. But a salesman's job is always to deliver bad news.
Deliver bad news and yet make it seem like good news.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to, you're the person that's being realistic on what the cost is.
Right.
That's this like,
Oh no, you're
that's like selling a property. That's like selling a piece of real estate property and wanting $100,000 for it, but the property's really only worth $80,000. A homeowner has emotional equity built into it, but a realtor has to come in because he's the salesperson and be honest with Mr. Seller of saying, hey, I get you have a lot of emotional equity built into this, but fact is it's only worth, market says it's only worth $80,000. So that's their job to do that. If you want to sell it for 100, it's going to sit, days on market is going to be a lot longer versus being in tune with comps and all that is a justifiable price. And so it's just, that's just the way it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Our girls got to explain to our customers that, the tanning lotion that they could get in our salon was $100. It wasn't $15 like you could buy sunscreen in the store for. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got a great point there.
Um, Talk about what was that mindset for your property managers?
Um, well,
Did you have to, I mean, did you have to talk to multiple property managers until you felt like they were the best screening your client? Because that's sales too. They have to have a personality. They have to know what questions to ask. I mean, what did that look like?
I think the biggest thing we had to do is make sure we were on the same page with our property managers. We didn't teach them how to sell the property so much, but we needed to make sure that they knew what our property was and what we were looking for in a client. And a lot of it does come down to personality and how good of a fit that is between the two people.
Hmm.
There were a lot of times when our property managers found tenants that didn't have the best credit. They didn't have, they probably wouldn't have passed muster in a couple things, but they met the person, they talked to them, they found out that there really was a reason. The reason they had bad credit is because they had an accident, they had lots of medical bills, they got behind, and they were catching up, and there's always a good reason. So, with the property managers, it was giving them the flexibility to create relationships with the people they were trying to connect.
Yeah. Well, this is what I can say. Sales isn't stagnant, it's alive.
Oh yeah.
Definitely alive. I mean, there are people come up with different ideas, different products every single day. So it is definitely alive. It's what you decide that you're going to do with it. So every day you have to do research. You have to observe and you have to adapt. I mean, that's the game. The person who learns the fastest wins.
Yep. You're going to need to be a psychologist and a product expert all at the same time.
Absolutely. So, I mean, stay curious, stay coachable, and remember, it's not about changing who you are. It's about adapting to how you're going to play the game.
Yep.
No
Absolutely.
question.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you, listener, of tuning into our episodes, Huddle for Success. We come to you every Monday with a new episode. Don't forget, we also have a Huddle Up session where we come to you every Wednesday and Friday with a quick mindful thought. Like, share, leave a comment. Go to huddleforsuccess.com and get your free Playbook for Life, and or go to Amazon if you want a hard copy. You go to Playbook for Life, Mark Bruce, or Playbook for Life, Duane Gibbs. It'll come up. It's $9.99. Go grab you a copy. And again, with that being said, stay huddled up, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Huddle for Success. If you found it helpful and want to support others on their journey, share this podcast, leave us a rating, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you next week on Huddle for Success. Stay huddled up.